Hi students. So in this lecture, let us discuss about the conservation of biodiversity. In last lecture, we discussed about the biodiversity, its level, genetics, species, biogeographical classification of India, biodiversity at global and national level, endangered and endemic species of India, hotspots and threats. So today we shall discuss about the conservation of biodiversity, before which I'll also be defining what are endangered endemic species once again. And the course outcome for this unit is to explain about the ecosystem, their structure, the function, how to conserve biodiversity. And we already discussed that bio means life and diversity means variety and variability. So the variety and variability of life, we call it as biodiversity. So what are endemic species? The species which are found only in particular region are known as endemic species. Say for example, we say like the Kurinji flower, it can bloom once in 12 years and we can find only in a particular place. Such kind of species we call it as endemic species. In India, out of 47,000 species, 7,000 plants are endemic and nearly 62% of our endemic species are found in Himalayas and Western Ghats. Most of the botanical students or zoology students, they go for field visit to check some of the endemic species. The endangered endemic species, according to International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, the species are classified into various types like extinct, endangered, vulnerable, and rare species. See, animals they cannot express out to ask people to save them. So actually, they are at the threatened level, and many of them we have already lost. So they are asking help us. The first one is extinct species. It is no more. A species is said to be extinct when it is no longer found in the world. So this is one such extinct species. Dinosaurs is an extinct species because we can no more see it. Endangered species. A species is said to be endangered when its number has been reduced to a critical level. It is in immediate danger of extinction. A national animal, it is an endangered species. We have only countable number, 1,400 and odd. Vulnerable species. The species is said to be vulnerable when its population is facing continuous decline. Polar bear everybody likes, but it is facing a continuous decline due to habitat destruction or overexploitation. A rare species is said to be rare when it is localized within a restricted area. We could see only in a particular area and they are thinly scattered. Such species they are not endangered or vulnerable, but they are called as rare species. And in India, the biodiversity is threatened due to habitat destruction, degradation, and overexploitation of resources. So, the threatened species we have 250 plants, 70 birds, 86 mammals, 25 reptiles, 3 amphibians, 3 fishes, and 50 insects. Okay, so they are threatened species. So, what are the factors affecting endangered species? First of all, pollution. Second one is overexploitation. And third one is climatic change. So, human disposed waste products due to which they cause pollution. And as I told you, like Earth has got everything to meet everybody's need, but not anyone's greed. But human is greedy, so that he is exploiting the natural resources. And climatic change. Accumulation of greenhouse gases cause sudden climatic change, and all those results in endangered species. We have something known as a red data book, which contains a list of endangered species of plants and animals. So To preserve these plants and animals, about 160 countries have signed in a treaty called International Treaties on Endangered Species, ITES, to save nearly 900 species. This treaty also restricts international trade of 2,900 other species. But the drawback is that member countries can exempt themselves from protecting any listed species. What are endemic species? I said like endemic species can be existing only in a particular area. So the species which are found only in a particular region are known as endemic species. So in India, out of 47,000 species, 7,000 plants are endemic. Nearly 62% of our endemic species are found in Himalayas and Western Ghats. That's why I told you we have two hotspots in India out of 25. And endemic fauna species, they're animals present in a particular region or period. About 81,000 animal species in our country are endemic. Amphibians like frogs, toads, etc. Reptiles, lizards, crocodile, etc. Endemic flora species, we have they also exist in a particular region. It also refers to be friendly bacteria, which helps to protect human body against pathogens. This is the pitcher plant, insect eating plant. Factors affecting endemic species, like we have habitat loss and fragmentation, draining and filling of inlands or wetlands. Pollution also play an important role. So how to conserve? Okay, so we need to conserve. If we are not conserving, even the endangered species will become extinct in a few days. So we need to conserve biodiversity. So conservation is defined as the management of biosphere so that it will yield the greatest sustainable benefit to present generation while maintaining its potential to meet the needs of the future generation. If you're not preserving, people could see only in exhibition. Specific objectives to conservation of natural resources is to maintain essential ecological process, to preserve the diversity of the species, to ensure sustainable utilization of species and ecosystem. So we have two conservation. First one is in situ conservation, second one is ex situ conservation. In situ means within habitat, wherever the uh, plants are, wherever the animals are, within their habitat, we can preserve them, we can conserve them, which is known as in situ conservation. And so this is achieved by protection of wild flora and fauna in nature itself. Example, biospheres, reserves, national parks, sanctuaries, reserve forest, etc. We have bird sanctuary at Vedandangal, zoological park at Vandalur, national park at Mysore, and we also have reserves. Okay, Mudumalai is for elephant. Okay, so all these are some of the in situ conservation. And ex situ conservation is this is done by establishment of gene banks, seed banks, zoological park, botanical gardens, culture collections, etc. And how to conserve them in ex situ conservation? We have National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. The seeds of crops are, because nowadays we have everything to be seedless. Okay, so we need to definitely conserve these seeds for the next generation, so they are preserved in cryoscopic level like minus 196 degrees Celsius in liquid nitrogen. So the cryopreservation technique, preservation of seeds of crops by using liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius is done in National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources. And we have National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources, NBAGR. It preserves the semen of bovine animals. And we also have National Facility of Plant Tissue Culture Repository, NFPTCR. It develops the facility for conservation of varieties of crop plants and trees by tissue culture. So, National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources um, as unit under Indian Council of Agriculture Resources, Department of Agriculture Research and Education, Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India, which was established in 1976 as a full-fledged institute, and it has headquarters in New Delhi and having 10 regional stations across the country. A National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources was established on 21st September 1984 at Bangalore in the form of twin institutes, namely National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources and National Institute of Animal Genetics. And then it was shifted to Karnal in 1985. The two institutes were merged to function as a single entity in the form of National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources in 1995. This premier institute is dedicated to work with its mandate of identification, evaluation, characterization, conservation, utilization of livestock and poultry genetic resources of the country. National Facility of Plant Tissue Culture Repository. Careful planning and negotiation resulted in the transformation of this need into a full-fledged into vitro and cryopreservation facility in 1986 with support of Department of Biotechnology, and the unit was named as National Facility for Plant Tissue Culture Repository. So during this period we could conserve, we could preserve so many plants. Thank you.